Your daughter just spent 3 hours planning a vacation you're not sure you can take, and you smiled and nodded. Sound familiar? That silence between "I'm fine" and what you really feel is costing you more than you think. But here's the thing nobody tells you. The most important conversation you'll ever have with your adult children isn't about wills or money. It's about what matters to you. When was the last time you truly talked with them about what comes next, about your wishes, your dreams, your quiet fears? If you're like most people, you've been putting it off. Not because you don't love them, but because it feels heavy. I understand. But you still have time to make this beautiful, and it starts with one honest conversation. You can do this. We protect our children from the future because we want to stay strong. It feels like love, this silence. But silence, over time, becomes distance. Think of a garden you've tended for years. You know which corner needs more sun, which flower thrives on neglect. But if you never tell your family how to water it, what happens when you're not there? It doesn't wither from lack of care. It withers from lack of knowing. The same is true of your heart, your wishes, the quiet things you hope for. The care you offer now, in honest words, is the legacy that actually survives. Not the paperwork, the understanding. And this isn't about pressure, it's about gentle awareness. You've spent a lifetime nurturing them. This is simply another way of tending, of making sure the roots hold long after you step back. And you can start today, softly. So when one woman sat at her kitchen table, coffee going cold, she didn't hand her daughter a folder. She spoke. She told her 3 things she wanted at her 80th birthday: laughter, a certain song, her favorite people close. And then one fear, being a burden no one knew how to name. That simple chat became a roadmap of her heart. No lawyer needed, just honesty. Her daughter didn't just learn her mother's wishes, she learned her mother. The woman didn't have to wait for a crisis to be understood. She gave the gift while she could still enjoy the giving. This is the conversation that's alive. It grows with you, shifts with each season, and it's never too late to begin. Because what you want for your own life is worth speaking, not just recording. Your stories, your values, the things that made you who you are, they're waiting to be shared, not filed away, shared. So how do you even start? Not with a formal meeting, not with papers spread across the kitchen table. You start with a walk. Just you and your adult child side by side, moving at a pace that feels natural. Somewhere along the path, you pause. Point to a bench you've always loved. Say, "This is where I feel most peaceful." That's it. No agenda, no pressure. Just a quiet opening. You're not asking them to solve anything. You're letting them in. And that's the gentle power of it. The conversation becomes a shared moment, not a heavy task. They see you, not as a parent with needs, but as a person with a heart that still beats for simple things. It's soft, it's real, and it makes the bigger questions feel less frightening because you've shown them that speaking about the future can begin with something as simple as a bench, a breath, a step forward together. So listen twice as much as you speak, because what you'll hear might surprise you. You remember a father who sat down with his son, expecting to talk about finances and care plans. But the son's real fear wasn't any of that. It was that he didn't know his father's stories. The first job, the childhood pet, the silly mistakes that made him human. So the father told him one memory, just one. And in that moment, he gave his son something no document ever could have treasured. Your children may worry about losing you, about their own limits, about the weight of responsibility. Let them say it. Let them be afraid out loud. Because when you make room for their fears, trust takes root. And trust, gently, heals the loneliness you both carry. And here's the beautiful part: turning that worry into a shared plan is one of the most loving things you can do. It's not a burden, it's a gift you give each other. You don't need lawyers or paperwork to start. Just a simple list: what you value, what you hope for, what you'd like to avoid. That's it. Honest words, spoken at the kitchen table. Imagine it writing a letter to your kids that says, "I trust you to make decisions that honor my life." Not instructions, permission. That letter becomes a quiet joy, not a dread. It lifts the weight off their shoulders and off yours. This isn't a plan for later. It's a plan for living for the season you're in right now with purpose and clarity. And once that foundation is laid, something unexpected begins to happen. You still have so much to give: your wisdom, your stories, your love. That conversation is a bridge to your children and to your own peace. Begin today with one small step. A question, a story, a minute of honesty, nothing more. And if this brought you a little peace, subscribe. There is more on the way. Because here, every day, we talk about the things that matter in the season you're in right now. You deserve that. Your family deserves that. And the sunrise tomorrow, it's not an ending. It's a promise that you get to begin again, gently, with purpose. Take a breath. You're exactly where you need to be. And you're not walking this path alone.